The 2019 Royal Rumble is done and dusted, and we are now officially on the road to WrestleMania. This week's editions of both Raw and Smackdown Live have also aired, and even though WWE demonstrated that both shows can be equally as good, with shock wins, drama and incredible matches, there are some things WWE tried to tell us secretly that could lead to some huge moments leading up to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, as well as the showcase of the Immortals WrestleMania 35. But what were they? Well, let's look at Monday Night Raw first. As number 1, Ronda Rousey was agitated by the crowd's response to her. Ronda Rousey managed to prove that she was better than the legit boss at the Royal Rumble, as despite giving her best effort to fight the rowdy one, Rousey managed to retain the Raw Women's Championship. The reigning champion appeared on Raw to talk about the match, and she received an okay reaction from the crowd, but nowhere near what you would call a pop, such a dramatic change from this time last year when she debuted. Anyway, whilst talking about her debut last year, her words turned to absolute gibberish, garnering more hatred from the crowd as the further she went on, the louder the boos became, evidently impacting her promo as she could hardly get any words out. Becky Lynch chants would then erupt as Rousey continued to stutter her words and try to finish the promo. Rousey even acknowledged her goof by saying, alright, you got me to stutter. Good job." It was clear that Rousey couldn't handle the negative reaction, and it seems like WWE weren't prepared for it either. As number 2, WWE rushed BAYLEY out to silence the boos. Before Ronda could even announce that she was making an open challenge with the title on the line, all of a sudden, out came BAYLEY. You could tell she was rushed out there to interrupt Rousey's poor performance on the promo, or put an end to it, as you might have noticed there were no BAYLEY inflatables as she came out. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer even commented on this saying, "You know they rushed BAYLEY out, because you know they had all those inflatable dummies, those inflatable deals, and she ran out before that, so it was kinda like they sent her out to save the segment, or whatever, or maybe Ronda had gone too long, and they just threw BAYLEY out there because Ronda kept pausing and everything like that. Whatever it was, BAYLEY was sent out, so there you go." Whilst Rousey gave one of the worst promos of her WWE career, she redeemed herself later on in the night, giving it back to Becky Lynch in a fiery promo after her match with BAYLEY. Number 3. WWE teases a 4 Horsewomen reunion again. In what was a hard-fought contest by both, initially it looked like Rousey was going to tap as BAYLEY managed to lock her in a crossface submission, but she managed to get to the ropes in time to break it up. Countering a superplex from the top rope, Rousey then managed to make BAYLEY tap by locking her in her signature armbar, defeating her and retaining the championship. The boos, however, were still echoing throughout the arena, as the two showed good sportsmanlike conduct by shaking hands after a well-fought match. Those boos immediately turned to cheers as Becky Lynch's music hit, sending the fans into a frenzy, as it looked like Lynch was going to make her decision on who she will face at WrestleMania. Now, if you were watching on television, you would know what happened during her entrance, as those who were in the live audience managed to see BAYLEY, a fellow horsewoman, give the signature 4 Horsemen sign to Lynch. Just before getting into the ring, Lynch also reciprocated with the same gesture. This goes hand in hand with Sasha throwing it up at Rousey on the Raw before the Rumble, and at the Rumble itself as she walked away. Dave Meltzer also discussed whether a dream match between WWE's Horsewomen and MMA's will happen soon. Ronda actually cut a promo about the Horsewomen vs Horsewomen match. It was actually a good promo too. Right now, as far as between now and WrestleMania, there is no plans for that. It can change, but there's nothing now, you know, so I had to ask specifically. I said, it looks like they're going that direction, and Sasha really wants that especially, and Ronda's not opposed to it. You know those are her real friends, but it's not in the cards of the next 2 pay-per-views right now. It can change. So it might not be between now and WrestleMania, but it could happen for this year's SummerSlam pay-per-view, or more appropriately the Survivor Series, even though WWE continues to tease it at this stage. Number 4. Dean Ambrose was going to tell us he's leaving on Raw. You might be aware that former WWE Champion Dean Ambrose has chosen not to renew his current contract with WWE, therefore he'll be leaving the company after WrestleMania 35, as that's when his contract is slated to end. Now, the majority of us fans didn't know this until Tuesday, when PW Torch reported the rumour, and oddly enough, WWE even made an official statement regarding his departure on their website on Wednesday night, thus confirming what we already knew. But just before news spread, There was a moment on Raw that could have indicated Ambrose was going to break kayfabe and possibly let us know about his departure. After he was defeated by Seth Rollins, Ambrose took a chair and sat in the ring, and whilst the fans booed him, he went out of character saying, "There's something serious I want to tell you people. Don't be a jerk to me right now. I'm bearing my soul to you people." Since WWE knew about this 2 weeks before and they strangely mentioned it on their website, this promo could have served as an opportunity to let the fans know he was leaving. But WWE may have changed their mind at the last minute. Number 5. An intergender match at WrestleMania. We weren't holding our breath, but there could have been a small chance WWE had a massive surprise for us at the Royal Rumble, specifically the debut or return of a wrestler. We didn't get any returns, well, apart from Eric Rowan, but just as shocking was Nia Jax attacking number 30 entrant R-Truth to take his place in the Men's Royal Rumble. Jax would make a decent impact as she managed to eliminate Mustafa Ali and take it to some of the remaining superstars in the ring, but she would be eventually eliminated by Rey Mysterio. Not only that, but Jax would disrupt Ambrose's promo and square up to him in the ring, ready to fight him. He might have been caught off guard, but Jax managed to knock him out of the ring. The reason for this, it seems that WWE wants to test the waters for intergender wrestling, and we could have a one-on-one male versus female match very soon. It's more likely to happen at WrestleMania, but that is only if WWE sees a positive reaction from fans. But what about SmackDown Live? As we go into number 6, Charlotte might be added to the Rousey-Lynch bout at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch has chosen to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35 and confirmed it on Raw. But when Lynch came out to address the fans on SmackDown Live, you would have assumed that Asuka would have come out to possibly ask why she didn't choose her. Oddly, it was Charlotte Flair who came out, who's been in the title scene for what seems to be an eternity. Her presence and brawl with Becky could have indicated that she might be inserted into the match at Mania. Whilst a triple threat match at Mania has been a long-standing rumour, we honestly hope she is not included. This match clearly doesn't need any more flair. Number 7. Nothing for Asuka? Surprisingly, just after Asuka not only defeated Becky but made her tap out at the Rumble, she didn't show up on Tuesday night. Whilst they may not have had enough time to fit her in the 2-hour show, WWE made the faux pas of not even mentioning her at all. Nothing about her recent win. With Becky now ready to face Rousey at Mania and the possibility that Charlotte could be inserted in later down the line, what would be left for Asuka? Is there any plans for her at all for the next pay-per-view? Number 8. A new faction. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan went toe-to-toe for what was their 7th one-on-one encounter with the championship on the line. Most of us knew we weren't going to get a clean finish, as it wasn't the right time for Bryan to drop the championship. But what we didn't predict was the finish being so awkward with a return that nobody even wanted, as Eric Rowan of all people came out to interfere in the match, helping Bryan retain the championship. For those who had forgotten, Bryan and Rowan have had a little history together, as they were both part of the Wyatt family back in 2014. Both Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt are missing from the pack, but perhaps this could be an early sign of a reunion, but this time, Bryan is heading the faction. Let's face it, at this point, the Bludgeon Brothers and the team of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are both dead. They need to come back with something else, and a new faction with Daniel Bryan could be the answer. Number 9. Rusev and Nakamura are likely to be an official tag team. Whilst we not only just saw a heel turn for Rusev, as he attacked R-Truth after failing to recapture the US title, we also saw a brief alliance between the two as they challenged Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Whilst this alliance is supposedly for one night only, WWE could make them an official tag team. You might recall WWE has done the same booking move in the past with teams like The Bar, as Sheamus and Cesaro were feuding with each other before they coexisted as a tag team, and a successful one at that. Could WWE do the same with Rusev and Nakamura? And number 10. R-Truth made history. In a likely bid to compensate R-Truth for having his Rumble spot taken, he mentioned the McMahons awarded him with a shot at the United States title. He would face Shinsuke Nakamura in a massive upset win, as he managed to counter a landslide and roll him up to win the championship. He was then met by Rusev, who complained of his loss at the Rumble, and told that he should be given a chance to win the championship back. Truth agreed to a match, and within a few minutes later, a similar upset would happen with another roll-up win, as Truth managed to retain the championship he just won. Unknowingly, Truth made history, as he's the first person in WWE history to win and retain the US Championship in the same night. He joins a small but elite class of wrestlers who have managed to do it with other titles, namely Triple H, who defeated Randy Orton for the title at 2007's No Mercy and retained the championship in the same night by defeating Umaga. What do you think of the possibility that Charlotte Flair should be added to the Mania match between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.